Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to understand progressive addition lenses or PALs, what they are, why they are used, and most importantly the temporary and permanent markings that help us identify and fit them correctly. Progressive lenses are advanced multifocal lenses used for correcting presbyopia. They provide clear vision at all distances, distance, intermediate and near, without any visible lines on the lens like bifocals or trifocals. The top zone is for distance, the middle is for intermediate, and the bottom part is for near vision. When a progressive lens arrives from the manufacturer, it doesn't look like an ordinary lens. There are several markings on the front surface, and each of them is a key that helps us unlock the exact zones and ensure the perfect fit for the patient. But why are these markings important? Unlike single vision lenses that have the same power everywhere or bifocals where the near segment is clearly visible, progressive lenses have multiple power zones that are invisible to the eye. So, when the lens arrives from the manufacturer, we cannot tell where the distance, intermediate and near zones are. That's why these guidance markings are provided to help us locate these vision zones and fit the lens accurately for the wearer. Without these markings, the lens looked like a normal single vision lens and fitting would become impossible. There are two types of markings, temporary and permanent. I have shown temporary in red and permanent in green here. We will see each of them in detail. Temporary markings. When we receive a progressive lens, we will see printed guide markings in yellow or white. These markings are temporary and will be removed after fitting. These usually includes fitting cross, distance reference circle, prism reference point and near reference circle. Some manufacturers also mention the right and left lens sign or brand name. These help in verifying the progressive lens parameters and positioning. Let's see each of them in detail. The fitting cross. The fitting cross is the heart of the progressive lens fitting. You can see it as a small plus sign printed at the center region of the lens. It is placed exactly in front of the patient's pupil when the frame is worn in primary gaze. It is positioned 2 to 4 mm above the prism reference point, otherwise called as the major reference point. If this point is right, everything else falls into place. The patient will be happy. If it is wrong, even the world's best progressive lens will not work properly. Distance reference point, DRP or distance power circle. Above the fitting cross, we find a larger printed circle called the distance reference point or DRP. This is the location on the progressive lens where the full prescribed distance power is located. It is positioned above the fitting cross, usually 6 to 10 mm higher depending on the lens design. It is marked as a circular or a semicircular ink marking. You place the lensometer target exactly at this mark to confirm the patient distance prescription. The accuracy of the DRP is essential to ensure the wearer enjoys sharp vision while driving, walking and looking far away. If DRP alignment is incorrect, the patient may feel blurred distance vision. They may tilt their head unnaturally. It could lead to adaptation failure and lens remake issues. It is the first checkpoint to confirm the lens is accurate and ready for perfect distance vision. Near reference point or near power circle. Below the fitting cross, we find a smaller printed circle which is known as the near reference point or NRP. This is the exact location where we measure the near power. It is marked as a smaller circular ink marking. It is located at the end of the progressive power corridor. While measuring at this point, we will get the sum of distance power plus addition power. If this point is misaligned, the patient may complain of difficulty finding the near zone, head movement to locate clear focus, and blurred print or eye strain. Thus, proper alignment of NRP is crucial to ensure clear vision at near and successful lens adaptation. So in summary, if the fitting cross is positioned correctly, the DRP and NRP will also be correct. Prism reference point. The prism reference point, commonly referred to as PRP, is the central location on a progressive lens used to verify prism power and lens centration. It is positioned at the geometrical center of the lens marking layout. It is typically marked by a small dot or circle. It is found directly below the fitting cross. It is one of the most crucial markings because progressive lenses almost always contain prescribed or compensated prism. You may wonder why progressive lenses have unprescribed prism. Okay, so in progressive lenses, a small amount of prism is often included even when it is not prescribed. This helps us in three different ways. First, it controls the distortion that naturally occurs due to the continuously changing power, making the progression smooth and comfortable. Second, it helps to reduce the thickness of the lens, especially in prescription, so the lens looks thinner and cosmetically better. And finally, it supports the natural convergence of the eyes during near work, ensuring stable and comfortable binocular vision. So, this intentionally prescribed prism enhances the overall performance of the progressive lens. Permanent markings. Even after the temporary markings are removed, every progressive lens continues to have permanent laser etched markings on the lens. These markings are very faint and usually become visible only under good lighting or against a dark background. Micro etching circles. These are two small circles placed at equal distances on either side of the lens center, generally around 2 to 4 mm below the fitting cross. These two markings serve as a identity code of the lens. On the nasal side, the manufacturer places a brand or design logo. It may be a small letter, shape or symbol that tells us exactly which company made the lens and what progressive design is that. This is extremely useful during reorders, warranty replacement, or even when a patient walks in with the previously fitted lenses and needs to order the same exact design again. On the temporal side, we find the addition power engraving, a small engraving such as 15 or 20, which corresponds to 1.50 and 2 addition. Here it is shown as 12, means the lens has 1.25 addition power. This engravings allows us to identify the near power at any time, even months or years after the lens has been dispensed. Even though these markings are minimal, just two tiny etchings, they allow us to reconstruct the entire lens layout later. By placing the lens on a progressive lens layout chart, we can relocate the fitting cross, the distance and near power circles, and verify centration all over again. This becomes really important during repairs, lens replacements or troubleshooting situations. These permanent markings are carefully positioned and will remain visible for the entire lifetime of the lens. They do not fade with cleaning or wear because they are not printed, they are laser engraved on the lens surface. That is all about progressive lens markings. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Let's Learn Optometry for more optometry, dispensing and eye care videos.